Right, hello. So hopefully I'm online, and what I'm trying to do today is stream both to Kick and YouTube at the same time. Now, I've actually figured out how to get that dual stream thing working on here, on YouTube that is, but again, the resolution looks wrong to me at the moment, so yeah, I'm going to probably have to play about with that. But it is actually working to some degree, where previously I couldn't get that working at all. Because according to the program I've started... Oops, I can't find my mic by my mouth. The program I've tried to... Actually, it's going to be streaming, isn't it, via the microphone on there? Yeah, it is, so it's not... That's fine. So yeah, I don't know if anybody will bother watching me on Kick, because obviously I normally stream on YouTube. But I thought I'd make an account just because, you know, like, apparently... You know, Kick is a good thing, so thought I'd start on there as well. And yeah, so if anybody joins the chat in there, I'll say hello, and I'll do a pop out on the YouTube chat. Again, apologies if the vertical stream on this one doesn't look very good. Yeah, Hugo Helmet, correct, Iraqi Bathist, you recognise it straight away. You can still see some dust on it. But yeah, I got it. I've had this for ages, but yeah, I dug it out the other day when I was looking for something else, because that's like what typically happens with my stuff. If I got the dust off there. Bit. I think some of it is shadowing where the paint sort of faded in places. But yeah, so like I said, I'm also streaming on Kick. So if you're interested in what my Kick URL is, let's see if I can actually link you to my Kick channel. I did call it Weaponsandstuff93, so it's easy for people to find. But let's have a look on Kick if there's a way of linking just to my profile. View your channel, I guess it would be. Yeah, there we go. So, yeah, if you're interested in me on Kick, there you go. That's my Kick URL, just if anybody's interested. So Kick's a bit like Twitch, but apparently Kick is a lot better than Twitch, so I thought I'll put the other light on as well, so the lighting's a bit better. There we go. But yeah, I thought I'd stream to both. Is that the Russian one, isn't it? The 6B47 helmet. It says Mason Months. So what I'll try and do, let me do a pop-out chat on YouTube, and then I'll go to the Kick window, and that way if anybody sends any messages on Kick, I can read them both out, so I'm not ignoring people in one of the chats. Again, like I said, nobody's subscribed to me on Kick yet, so I wouldn't be surprised if, you know, nobody bothers, but, yeah. And, like I said, with this streaming software, I'm able to do the actual, double stream thing, but again, it doesn't look quite right on YouTube at the moment. I'm just gonna play about with this a second. So if I restore the crop, actually I haven't got it. Reset transform. Okay, so that looks like that now. Can I just drag that into the middle of the screen like that? We'll see if it looks different on the YouTube encoder in a minute. But yeah, because I found a way of how you do the dual stream on YouTube now, but I don't know if that is actually going to make much difference, because it's still not really, you know, got me centered, even though I've messed with the setting. Let's click live. But yeah, we'll see how it turns up when I finish the stream, but at least I've figured out how to do that dual stream thing now. It's a bit silly how they sort of do it. So anyway, I'm going to go to the Kick thing. So I've already got a spam message on Kick, so I assume you just have to get rid of this person. I don't know how we actually delete people or block them on Kick, but yeah, somebody's already trying to spam like some dodgy advertising thing to get you promoted on Kick. So yeah, there we go. So like I said, I'll go back to the Kick thing. I need to have the pop-out chat on, but yeah. Yeah, what, wearing Digifloor in public so you look like a Mobic, probably not a good thing. No, not it's communist. But yeah, so if you're interested, like I said, I put the Kick list link in the thing, just so if anybody wants, because again, when I stream, it should automatically stream to both platforms. But yeah. So anyway, yeah, it's Yugoslav, this helmet. So you can probably see if I take it off and hold it a bit closer to the camera that it's actually a Stahlhelm. Like, shape-wise, it's based on the German Stahlhelms of World War II. So, from certain angles of this, it's really obviously a Stahlhelm, but sometimes it's quite hard to see that on camera. Maybe if I hold it up like that, you can see more it's a Stahlhelm. But, yeah. which one's EMR? Let me look it up. Assuming it's one of the Russian camos, is it EMR? Again, I really like the chin strap in this for a basic chin strap, because you can get it to work with gas masks really easily, because it's like a quick adjust, like, you know, buckle chin strap where you just tighten it and loosen it like that. But yeah, so yeah, again, on Kick, I don't know actually how to do all the moderation stuff on there. I can do a pop-out chat for Kick as well, so I could get that and the YouTube one up at the same time. But yeah, EMR camo. Yeah, oh, that is Digiflora then, EMR. Probably genuine North Korean anything is hard to get hold of, because they don't really export to the rest of the world, as you know. Like I said, I've done some videos on North Korean snacks, because you can get those through China. But yeah, so for, yeah, dear love. But again, Gorka suits are meant to be quite comfy, aren't they? But yeah. So Rolando was saying, is that a 1970s communist China infantry helmet? But no, Yugoslavia. So communist Yugoslavia, when that was a thing. So, you know, Tito's what. And again, I kind of like Yugoslavia. It was one of the less shit communist countries. Obviously, though, what happened, though, when Yugoslavia collapsed was horrific. Because when they had a dictatorship forcing everybody to get along with each other, the Serbs, the Croats, you know, the Bosnians and everyone else, it sort of worked. When the communist dictatorship fell apart, the people murdered each other. So, you could basically sabotage, try and explain in good faith about how 5G isn't ionising radiation, because you wouldn't want them to then say, oh, the radio code's shit because it's not picking anything up from a 5G tower. Yeah, Yugoslav M59, but it's one of the later variants because it has the better liner in it. Because obviously the earlier M59s had a much more basic, I think just like regular liner, didn't they? This is like one of the later variants because it's got the, like I said, like fast adjust chin strap sort of thing. Yeah, the bars suits I've got are really comfy, but again, the bars suits are, you know, like, again, you wouldn't want to wear them in the summer, and even I find in the UK winter they're sometimes too warm. Right, see you, Mason. But yeah, so, like I said, so I've got Kick set up, but like I said, cool, yeah. Like I said, I'm just trying Kick out because, again, Twitch is meant to be quite crap compared to Kick now, from what I understand. As in that, you know, people who stream on all platforms say, you know, if you get any money, you get much better money from Kick and stuff like that. You know, like a lot of those streamers have given up on Twitch. Again, I could make this stream to Twitch as well at the same time, but I just can't really be bothered. So like I said, I primarily stream to YouTube just because it's where my channel is, but I don't mind being on other platforms. But again, the annoying thing is obviously, if I'm streaming to multiple platforms at once, I have to make sure I follow the rules of all the platforms. So like, so even if on Kick, say, I could show guns, I can't show them on YouTube, so I'd have to, when I'm doing a dual stream to all the different platforms. Yeah, I don't know, Gas Mask, but like I said, annoyingly, if I'm streaming to both platforms at once, I do have to be careful of, you know, the rules on all the platforms. So yeah, I'm just going to get both the pop-out chats back up. Like I said, I've only had one message on Kick so far, and that was like a scam message. So, like a bot, you know, saying, come to whatever website for promoting you. I'm just going to see if... Again, I want to see if I can make this vertical thing look better on YouTube, but I don't know how exactly... If I get myself more widescreen there, does that get better or worse? Or doesn't it change it? Again, the annoying thing is that's actually not as bad now. But yeah, the annoying thing is it keeps doing the thing where it isn't going live, you know, where it keeps like lurking behind on the video. So yeah, I am going to have to play about that vertical stream thing to figure out a setting that works for both of the things. Because again, in the preview window, the streaming software I'm using, by the way, is Meld Studio, because Meld lets you do dual streaming and all that, or triple streaming to various platforms without paying more money to do it. It's not like a bolt-on feature, it's one that's included in the base program. It reminds me of OBS with less clutter on it, this, basically. I think I can do weird... oh yeah, cool, I can. I can do... so I could, if I want to, put the weird things over the top. So I can do a fake thermal one, look. So yeah, this isn't real thermal, this is fake thermal. But yeah, I'm actually able to... yeah, do a fake thermal overlay if I wanted to. What other ones are there? Let's have a look. So I want to go to... Where's my window for this? Oh, has it minimised it? Yeah, there we go. Thought the Red Moon one looked pretty cool. Like, yeah, communist overlay. I'll turn these off in a minute, but yeah, I just thought that was, again, the stream keeps lagging behind, but yeah, Predator Vision, Thermal Vision, exactly. But yeah, so Yugo helmet I like, because like I said, it's just a Stahlhelm type helmet without all the horrible historical connotations of the Stahlhelm, and this one's got a good chin strap that you can quickly adjust. That's what I'm doing at the moment, Zach. Can you see that? Well, you probably can't see. Like I said, Zach, I finally figured out how to do that. You can do it with Meld. Basically, YouTube doesn't support it on its own. You have to have a streaming software that can do it. So that's how I've got it set up. So yeah, in theory, if you're watching this on a mobile phone, it will send you the thing I can see on the right-hand side of my screen. If you're watching this on the desktop, you'll see how it looks on the left-hand side of my screen. I might even be able to screen share using Meld. Let's see if I can do that easily. 1 second. So can I do a screen share? No, I don't want to do that. That will take off my thing. But can I add a layer? Yeah, add layer, display capture, select source, live streaming YouTube, I guess. Right, so yeah, see on here, if I get this up, you can see, look, I'm doing the vertical and the other one at the same time. I'll just go and open the YouTube thing so you see it better. But yeah, you'll be able to see on here that, yeah, it's actually letting me do both the vertical and the horizontal stream, like, at the same time now. The dual stream thing actually is working, and that's because, yeah, it turns out YouTube doesn't support any of it their end. Your streaming software has to output a vertical and horizontal stream to YouTube at the same time, which this is currently doing. But yeah, anyway, I'll turn that overlay back off, and we'll go back to just having it the pocket free on that one. If I can get rid of that layer, I guess I just want to do delete maybe. Delete layer. Yeah, there we go. And now we're back to that. I'll put the I'll get rid of the stupid overlays as well. I'll just put those onto normal. There we go. So that's back on normal. Again, no messages in Kick anyway, but I'll keep it running on Kick, doesn't hurt. And yeah, and I'll get the YouTube chat and the Kick chat back up. But yeah, anyway, let me go back to the chat. But yeah, so I am doing the vertical one. So Gasmar Scallon said they recently got an SSH-60, got that the Soviet helmet, yeah? Missing part of the line so I can wear a large hat underneath it like my hunting trap hat. That's kind of cool. Again, helmets will help keep your head warm if, yeah, again, I don't know, David, which of those it is. Again, that UN Peacekeeper helmet I've got is a Czechoslovakian one. With, like, the leather chin strap. But, I can't remember which variant of the helmet this one was. I did cover it when I did a video on it. But, yeah, I'm not a massive fan of this type of chin strap, but it does work in a sense. But, yeah, this is an old Czechoslovakian communist one. Oh, that one. They said mine one doesn't, my one's just got like a leathery chin strap. It doesn't, they're saying that one isn't too bad. But, like I said, for me personally, I'm not a massive fan of the chin strap, but the materials feel like any of the other communist helmets. Yeah, neck flap kind of things, Long John, are cool, aren't they, like on the Japanese? I know what you mean, the Imperial Japanese Army ones with the bit that goes down the back of your neck. Because other than the Japanese ones, I've barely seen, I think the French Foreign Legion had a cap like that, but I've barely seen any caps with a neck flap, even though it's good for not getting sunburn on the back of your neck. Alright, Rajiv, I'm streaming as well to Kick at the moment, because I thought I'd do the, start streaming to multiple platforms. Now I've got an internet connection that can support multiple streams. So if you're interested, anyone who didn't see it at the start of the stream, that's my Kick URL. In theory, I'll be streaming to YouTube and Kick at the same time, so it doesn't really matter. but it's just obviously, like I said, I might as well stream to multiple platforms if I'm streaming, because you might get some people find you and be interested that otherwise wouldn't, you know, be interested. Oh, that's good, Peppy. Yeah, again, you can get copies of, like, World War II helmets that are quite good. But like I said, yeah, it's just, as long as they're sold, you know you're buying a replica when you're buying it, it's not a problem. It's just the problem with those is obviously some people will try and pretend they're genuine ones and put the price up massively. Yeah, the only reason I stick them up on premieres, Rajiv, even if I'm not in a chat, is that if I do a premiere, I notice it always sends a notification out that the video's going on. If I don't do a premiere, it's less likely people are notified I've made the video. So I've noticed if I do a video and one goes on a premiere and one doesn't, the videos that premiere tend to get more views. Because it's, yeah, speaking of Brody helmets, I think my Brody helmet is, behind me somewhere, in the pile of shit. I mean, surplus stuff we love so much. There's my, just give that a little dust. I need to give that a polish. Oh, some of the writing's fading off of this. The U is coming off the... See, the U in Weapons and Stuff's coming off, sort of scratched off. Huh. Yeah, that wasn't... Let's put that there. Yeah, I did see the Brody recently. I've got a replica Brody that's pretty good, but it's not really my size, which is the problem. Yeah, I thought I saw recently the, oh, never mind. I thought I saw recently the Brody actually around here somewhere, but maybe I didn't, or maybe it's buried under that top layer of stuff. And again, I don't want to disturb the pile, because it might all collapse on me. Right. But yeah, you can also get, speaking of Brodies, you can also get post-war ones. A lot of the British World War II ones aren't actually green, Devon. A lot of the World War II ones are that weird turquoise colour, if you actually see colour photos of World War II. No, because you wouldn't be able to fit as much stuff in with shelves, Caesar, and then I'd have to clear everything out the way to get shelves. No, I don't know. You have to explain all that, classified official. I don't know about all the controversies. See, I'll have to, again, I can't take donations on Kick yet, because you have to have a channel with a certain amount of viewers and everything else. What about night vision goggles? I've got night vision goggles. Ah, yeah, right, Devon, let me see if I can find you a picture of what the actual World War II Mark II helmet. See if I can find... Again, some of them do look greeny, but a lot of them were painted in a weird kind of off... Again, it's not blue, and it's also not green. Because, like, I think in Christopher Nolan's Dunkirk, they were all, like, that weird off kind of colour. What year did Dunkirk come out? 2017, is that it? Dunkirk 20, yeah. So, if I get you a screenshot up from Dunkirk... There you go. If you look at these, I know if you said you're colourblind, it's not going to help much anyway. But if you have a look at these, I'm just, for the people that are on, because there's nobody on Kick, I'm just putting a link on YouTube. Yeah, if you look at that, if you look at the screenshot, notice they are more of a blue colour than they are green. Most World War II Brodies I've ever seen, like the Mark II helmets, tend to be that colour. Like, again, they could have been painted other colours. But yeah, I think all the original issue ones were that kind of just grey blue kind of colour. Like, they do just seem to be that colour. Because again, I've got a genuine World War II one that's basically that colour that's, like, faded. Yeah, I've got one, and I can't show it on stream because of YouTube policies. But yes, I've got a deactivated, sadly, number 1 Mark III rifle, the World War I, World War II version. As in World War II, partway through, they went to the number 4 rifle. But the number 1 Mark III rifle is the one that, yeah, if you've got a firearms certificate, but I can't because I've not got a firearms certificate. Otherwise, I'd be in a lot of trouble if, I had one of those and the police paid a visit, a live one. Speaking of stuff like that, though, what I will have a look at is what's going on with I was going to call him Queer Stalin then, Keir Starmer. Cabinet ministers back Starmer as Scottish Labour leader calls for PM to quit. And also Bristol nursery worker guilty of rape and sexual assault on toddlers. I think that man should be put to death. And I use the word man very sparingly. Don't know if it was little boys or little girls. But I personally would happily kill a nonce like that. Don't care if that gets me in trouble. It's fucking child abusing nonce. We could test some of the equipment, couldn't we? Like, for example, how good is this at killing a nonce? That would be, I hope I'm not breaking any things saying that, but, yeah. I'm less worried about the law at this point than just like, oh, you broke a policy on the site saying something like that. Call to violence. I'm just saying personally. Yeah, but if he gets cooed by enough of his own party, he's gone anyway. Again, Labour really needs to be purged of a lot of MPs to become a good party again. Because like I said, the problem is, yeah, bring out your nonce. Yeah. But yeah, regarding Stalin Starmer, he's yeah, if you purge the Labour Party of all of the people that are like his close associates, that it went back to being a real socialist party, I might quite like him, but yeah, I still remember that advert, Kevin, that gets posted on forums now again, when it was like, buy a Nagant for like $69, or like a crate of 20 for like $1,000, or whatever it was. Depends on the maker, classified official. With the British ones, like, or English swords, let's say, depends on the maker that's making them. So, like, a lot of blacksmiths, if you commission them, can do a really, really good one. A lot of, the big mass production companies sometimes get them a bit wrong. But again, it really depends on the company making them, because you can get good UK replica style, like English and Scottish swords. But again, just depends on the manufacturer. Okay, so for Zach, I will explain the UK parties and what they stand for. 1 minute. So, you have Labour, which are meant to be a socialist party. They'd be the equivalent of the Democrats in America. But Labour recently has become more and more of just like a neoliberal sort of, you know, globalist sort of party. So normally in the UK, people distinguish it between old Labour and new Labour. Old Labour were actual socialists. So if you don't like socialists, you wouldn't like them, but they at least were a socialist party. New Labour isn't socialist at all, they just pretend to be. So they like brand themselves as socialists, but they're the exact same thing as the Tories. So that is Labour. We have the Tories, which are like your equivalent, or the Conservatives, they have both names, which are the equivalent of the Republicans in the US. And again, there's not much difference between Labour and the Tories anymore. You have the Liberal Democrats in the middle, and I don't even know what they stand for anymore. I don't think the Liberal Democrats know what they stand for, because again, they're basically sitting on the fence party with no difference between them. But again, like I said, Labour, the Tories, and the Lib Dems now are essentially the same thing. They almost have exactly the same policies on anything of significance. Yeah, quad lens night vision is very expensive. Yeah, Waitrose Labour voters then. There you go, Devon. So yeah, and then you've got, so the more interesting parties. You've got your party, which I think is dying now. And that was Jeremy Corbyn's spin-off party, who used to be a socialist. Like, he's an old tanky commie. But his party kind of fell apart because he invited too many people in with too many political opinions, and they all started fighting each other like they tend to do in those sort of parties. So you've got the Greens. The Greens are the far left party, as I'd call them. And the Green Party is basically a combination... I'm just trying to get that thing back properly again for my... Again, with the YouTube thing, I'm just trying to position the vertical one, so it's mostly vertical, but I don't know if I've got that right or not. Again, the problem is it keeps... I might just pause this on here, because it keeps doing the thing where it's not even live anymore, because I think because I've got several things streaming, it stops because I'm, you know, streaming on multiple platforms. So, anyway, let's go back over it. So, the Green Party used to be an eco party, you know, like greenies, you know, save the earth, don't, no to, like, carbon and all that, and all, you know, all that sort of stuff. Oh yeah, I won't forget the Monster Raving Loony Party, I'll bring them up in a minute, thank you for the reminder. But yeah, so the Green Party now, though, is not really anything to do with green stuff. It's all about being a pro-Islamist, but also at the same time being pro-gay, pro-trans, and all this. Yeah, so as Devon says. So basically, the Greens are another one of those parties that is anti-establishment, that if they ever got into power, they'd start having a civil war, because lots of bits of their party are never going to work. Then you've got Reform, which a lot of people call the far-right party, but I just think they're the sensible version of like a right-wing party, which is Farage's party, which are basically quite libertarian-y, but they're still not that libertarian-y, in all honesty. And then you've got the Monster Raving Loony Party as Lefriol, or how his name's Leo was bringing up, which are like a protest party, but they're quite funny. So in some way I have respect for the Monster Raving Loony Party, because they've at least been around for ages and always done their thing. Yeah, basically, Gas Mask Allen. So yeah, so in the UK the problem is, like I said, that everybody now is completely disillusioned with the mainstream parties. Labour, Lib Dems and Conservatives, because of the fact they're all so similar to each other now. What OK comments you have to approve? Oh, and Andy is being a typical dickhead because he's PMing me while I'm streaming. I'm going to say, thanks for PMing me while I'm streaming. Talk later. Oh, so I'll delete that because I sent that to the wrong person. Great. Delete. Oh, delete them. Ah, fuck, I fucked that up. I'm even more and more annoyed at it now. Yep, because as people know, don't PM me while I'm streaming, it annoys me. Oh, YouTube over censorship. What, on this video or something else, Rajiv? But, because I haven't had any comments for me that show up as ones I have to approve, yeah. And, yeah, nobody else PMing me on Kick, so not PMing me, but, you know. But, yeah. Right, I need to go to the right tab again now. Oh, great. Oh, yeah, yeah, like I said, this is why people always get, yeah, people always do the, I've lost my train of thought because this has really pissed me off now, sorry. But yeah, it's, the thing, like I said, I keep bringing this up and people keep doing it to the point I am actually going to have to start having a go at people because I think they're doing it deliberately now. Yeah, but UKIP doesn't really exist anymore. I know they do exist, but they're not a proper party in a sense that they're never coming into power. No, UKIP and Reform are different parties. No, it's not you that derailed me, Rajiv. It was because I keep saying to people I know in real life that watch my videos, don't PM me while I'm streaming, because it's distracting. And a lot of them do it on purpose now, because they know it annoys me, to the point I am actually going to have a serious go at people saying it's not a joke anymore. But yeah, because like I said, now and again people do it by accident. It's just happening enough times now that I know people are doing it on purpose, that they're waiting till I'm streaming, so they ask me what time I'm streaming, and then about 30 minutes into a stream, they'll start asking me random questions that, you know, because again, what I should have done is closed WhatsApp and everything so nobody could PM me while I was on, but, I don't know if they're trolling or just being idiots because they don't make videos themselves, but like I said, I obviously never PM somebody unless it's related to their stream and it's like an important thing. Because I've had people do that. Like, now and again, if somebody PMs you something because they know you're streaming and they want to bring something up, you know, and there's somebody you know, I don't mind it. But when it's just, oh, let me ask you a random question because I couldn't be bothered to do it later. Yeah. So, but yeah, Rajiv, you are right. It is getting much, much worse, YouTube, now, for just random comments being censored. And like I said, the problem is, a lot of people have a go at me on the YouTube videos going, oh, well, you're deleting my comments and all this. Is like, I'm not deleting your comments. YouTube's just hiding it. So, yeah. But, you know, it's a bit like, you know, I know when somebody's watching something. Yeah, I do, but I haven't done any videos on it recently, I see you. But yeah, no, I've not got an M9 bayonet. Again, might get one if I can find one cheap, but I've never seen one at a good price, either a replica or a real one. And like I said, the M9 isn't as good as the M7 anyway. It's a better multi-tool than an M7, but it's not a particularly good bayonet. Cause like I said, it's like an AK bayonet or an SA-80 bayonet. It's a multi-tool pretending to be a bayonet, like a lot of modern bayonets. Yeah, I don't know, Miltech might do a copy of it. Let me have a look. Again, I won't be able to list the sites I'm looking at. Yeah, right, so a replica M9 is £50 in the UK from a site I've bought from before and I know they're legit. So I might get one after a payday if I've got a load of spare cash, but like I said, the M9 isn't a particularly sort of, like I said, interesting thing for me because of the fact that, like I said, it's, you know, not as good a bayonet as the M7. But I'll get one to do a video on it. But yeah, that's a replica one. But bear in mind, Iraqi, some of the comments, if they're censored, you won't know somebody's even made them in the first sense, because YouTube just completely deleted the comment without even telling you. Yeah, like I said, Miltech's K-bar I've had from a while ago is actually crap. Like, really, really crap. Like I said, because it was one that, although it was meant to be sharp when I got it, was blunt out the sort of box, if you like. Well, not blunt, but, you know, like a really bad edge on it. And it was one that, as I sharpened it, it kept, like, peeling the edge, like it had really bad heat treatment. Their M4 and M7 bayonet replicas I've got are very good, because they clip on properly to the rifles. You know, they make a proper, you know, they make an actual proper clip-on, what's the word for it? Like, you know, the lugs are exactly the right size, so they clip on and clip off the appropriate rifles properly. So, you know, they're the exact dimensions of the real M7 or M9. It just might be the blade has different heat treatment or whatever, but they are a very good copy in that regard. Because obviously I've had some clones of things before where they don't even get the dimensions right, so they don't even work, you know, on the things they're meant to work on. That's normally the M4 bayonet, JJ, you're thinking of, if it looks like a K-bar. Again, where's mine? There. So if it's this looking thing, that's the M4 bayonet, because it's got the K-bar looking handle on this. These are either normally leather or stacked wood, stacked leather or stacked wood, the handles on these. So if it's this thing you're thinking of, that's the M4 bayonet. And that's for the M1 carbine, M2 carbine, and M3 carbine. Oh, a modern one. Okay, yeah, never mind then. But yeah, like I say, this is the one that reminds me a lot of a K-bar, because it is the World War I one of basically, can we make a K-bar like knife for going on a, you know, rifle. I keep bringing it up, Asterline, but I guess people don't ever listen or come on the streams and I explain it. Have you looked at the price of them recently? Because when Putin went into Ukraine, they went up about 4 or 5 times in price. And in the current UK, I can't even save money. Like I said, if I basically find another job I can do 30 hours a week, and, you know, I was able to save money completely, you know, and then not buy anything for YouTube, because then that's the other problem, is if I don't get new stuff on YouTube, people complain, oh, why haven't you got this Gas Master review, why haven't you got that Gas Master review, that kind of thing. But yeah, ROC posts now are just stupidly unaffordable, because all of the boomers, after Monkey invaded Ukraine, said basically, oh, I'm going to buy an ROC post so I can, you know, so I can survive it for when the nukes drop. So they bought all of them up and drove the price up. So, yeah, it's one of those things that it's completely unaffordable. Because, yeah, if you're in the UK and don't know, the cost of living now has basically crippled the country. So, every week you go to the supermarket, food is more and more expensive because we have a shit government. You know, real wages haven't gone up. So, yeah, as time goes on, I have less and less money, even when I'm buying less and less stuff. And, yeah, the point is, this is why the housing thing is fucked. Everything is fucked in this country. So, yeah. Basically, everybody I know now can't afford to move out. Everybody lives with their parents, lives with relatives, lives multiple people to a house. So, yeah, and this is the point I'm getting at, that, yeah, so basically, nothing in the USA, not USA, sorry, because people bring up the USA, nothing in the UK anymore is actually affordable. Because we're in the kind, like I said, we're in a weird situation, though, where, a lot of people in the, UK now don't even try and save money anymore because of just how bad the economy's gotten. And again, the politicians will tell you the economy is fine, but it's not. Because, like I said, I don't know a single person that's better off now than they were a few years ago. And then they're worse off than they were a few years before that. Yeah, and yeah, exactly, Rajab, putting higher and higher taxes on everything. And Tony says a £40,000 year wage in the 90s is equivalent to £170,000 being here now. Again, it's like housing just gets more... who or what is to blame for the fares? There's a lot of things, Zach. Like, again, the really easy answer, but it does play a factor, is mass migration to the UK, where we can't support the number of people. And then the state helps people that have come over illegally more than the native people that live here. Or people that have immigrated before, you know, worked hard, you know, illegal immigrants and all that. Because what's ended up happening is basically what, you know, like housing is, obviously the price of housing is driven up if people are coming into the country and the government prioritises them for housing. And so, yeah, what you're ending up getting in the UK is obviously, that's one factor. Again, there's lots of things like stuff isn't made in the UK anymore. So it has to be imported, so it costs more. You know, like I said, government's taxing people more and more when they don't know what they're doing with your money. So you're paying money out in taxes that you then never get, you know, back. I think, Militia One, I think everybody has kind of a bit of, what you call it, like nostalgia for a previous period and all that sort of stuff. But yeah. But like I said, the economy is only getting worse and worse in most first world countries at this point. Electricity prices keep going up, gas prices keep going up, you know, food prices are going up, fuel costs go up. Yeah, and as Roger was saying, we need economic reform. We're also having the problem that lots of sectors, you keep getting people go on strike, like public sectors, you know, where people work for the government rather than private companies. And then they go on strike and the government is forced to bail them out because for some reason the government just can't fucking fire a lot of them. Oh, you're getting better wages than most of the population, but you're demanding more and going on strike. Oh, let's bail you out again. So we're getting that kind of thing. Yeah, so, and like Brown Strick is saying, his power bill alone was $184. Oh, it's not just the boomers, Devon, it's because we let foreigners buy the homes. And I'm not saying that like an anti-immigrant thing at this point. I mean, rich business people in other countries can buy houses in the UK, as many as they want, and then that forces the price of the housing market up, so then they can keep selling those houses at a profit or rent them out. Is that the VA, is that the Veterans Association or whatever, anomaly glitch? But yeah, like I said, this is the problem we have in the UK, is that there's just so many factors where the government does not want to fucking, you know, deal with an issue. So, like, again, what the government should do is just stop You know, if you're buying a house in you know, the UK, if you're a foreigner, you should be allowed one house. That should be it. You shouldn't be allowed to buy up blocks and blocks. You know, let's say you're a Saudi or whatever, because isn't it something like 70 to 80% of all London property is owned by the Saudis now? I know a lot of it used to be owned by the oligarchs in Russia as well. So you get all these combinations where essentially much wealthier foreign countries are buying out the thing to force up the price of housing in the UK, so then they can sell them at bigger... Oh, Veterans Affairs, right, thanks for letting me know, yeah. But, yeah, it's... classified official says, but only EU was more authoritarian on the... Was that World Economic Forum? Plus the MOD, so Ministry of Defence, made entry-level cybersecurity roles, and they are telling all of us to join, however it requires you to be born here, lol. Navy, Army, RAF. Again, don't know too much about that, but like I was saying, we have a lot of factors in the UK that just keep making it worse and worse, and like I said, so you have... Yeah, it's something like that. Let me have a look. How much... I'll ask Grok, because Grok isn't as censored, so bear with me a moment. Because again, Grok I have found is better than ChatGPT for politically incorrect questions. How much of the London housing market is owned by foreign... Hang on. Investors. There we go. I won't ask Saudi particularly, I'll just ask. It says technically only 3% are registered to overseas things, but yeah, it's saying like, yeah, 60 to 70% of rented things are owned by foreign investors, but they have all these different things so they can claim, oh yeah, I'm also a UK resident, so it's alright. So yeah, on paper the government will go, oh, it's only 3% of the properties that are owned by foreigners, but yeah, 60 to 70% of rented out properties are owned by people in the UAE, and, you know, other things like that. And again, it says on 1 year, in 2014, 27% of properties were sold to foreign owners. So, yeah. It's, again, one of those, whatever you call it, sort of things, sort of pissing with the numbers, you know. Where you tweak the stats to reflect how you want it to sound. I don't know what you mean by that, gas mask, Alan. I mean, by using Grok, I know Keir Starmer might go, I think you're trying to make dirty pictures of little kids because I don't like Twitter and I want it censored. I don't like X, so I'm going to send you to the gulag. But yeah, so, like I said, the problem we've got in the UK is, yeah, even people I know that are working more hours for slightly better wages are still in really bad positions. When Grok got sentient, Ghost Jesus, and started praising the Moustache Man? Grok became a noticer. But yeah, like I said, the UK is really, really a good example of, I think, most of the population getting poorer and poorer every year. Again, the rich are getting richer, but the rich is a very small percent of the population. So what I think is happening in the UK is the middle class is mostly getting turned into the working class. You know, poor class, however you want to call it. So basically, where we used to have a system where people could elevate themselves out of poverty by working hard and all that, we've now got a situation where more and more people are being forced into poverty. K-shaped economy, what you mean some of the people are going up and a lot of them are going down? But yeah, like I said, I don't know all the solutions to this, but I know the current government we've got are only making things worse, even though they're meant to be socialist, you know, because like I said, Labour are fake socialists, the current Labour Party under Keir Starmer. Let's have a look what the latest news is on Starmer, because like I said, because a lot of people in this party are trying to coup him now. Starmer to address meeting of Labour MPs after Cabinet Ministers back PM to stay in office. So all of his cronies in the Cabinet have backed him, but like the entire rest of the Labour Party want him gone now. because they realise that he's just going to fuck up any chances they have of re-election. So at 6:01 p.m, Starmer leaves Downing Street on way to address Labour MPs. The Prime Minister has left Downing Street ahead of a meeting with members of the Parliamentary Labour Party as he fights to shore up his leadership. The meeting with the PLP is taking place at 6 p.m. behind closed doors. Starmer has faced several calls to resign over his appointment of Peter Mandelson as ambassador to the US, including some from within the Labour Party. Because yeah, they're all mates of Epstein, aren't they? They're all fucking nonsense. But yeah, I really want Starmer to get fucking, lose his job. I did everything right. Again, I imagine he can still fuck off to another country with a load of stolen money. But yeah. And again, I don't think he's going to necessarily be replaced by somebody that's much better. But so, Classified said, Ukraine rent boys incident, people made the conclusion that he cancelled jury trials because of his Grindr history. Or because he didn't want people to see it. I don't think AI should be allowed to make CP and stuff like that. ICU. Go to Argentina like the other people, or go to somewhere else that's like, or Dubai or somewhere like that. But yeah, I just want him gone because I hate him. Doesn't mean that, yeah. Yeah, but David Lammy hopefully wouldn't last very long as PM if he becomes PM. I mean, I kind of wonder from an accelerationism point of view, do you need everything to get really bad to get better? Like, again, I think the worse things get and the faster they get worse, the more people might want a proper alternative. Because, again, I think the problem is when stuff is very slowly declining, people get used to it. But I think because Labour has done so many bad things in 1 year of being in power, that a lot of people have gone, yeah, we really need a different kind of thing. You better bring guns back, Ghost Jesus, if you do that. But yeah, this is the thing, Classified Official. I know people that are actually quite qualified, earning way over minimum wage. And these people still have had to downsize houses and move to a different part of the country and everything else. So, sell off a certain size of house to get, the money from that sale to buy a house where you're then left with a load of money and then try and live as cheaply as possible. Because like I said, it's like, if you do food shopping now, right, let's play a game, shall we? Let's go on Tesco's website, because Tesco's is one of the cheaper supermarkets in the UK. I know Aldi and Lidl are cheaper, but Tesco's is a very common one. Let's look up everyday grocery type things and look up what the price of them cost. So, who wants to suggest something for me to look up on Tesco's website? And we'll have a look at how fucked the prices are. Every cyber I don't think I'd like a free SA80. But steaks, okay. I know Asmongold has $2 steaks. So let's sort by price lowest to highest. So we're going to look at the cheapest things you can possibly get. And I'm going to try and look up proper steaks as well, not like cured meat that is kind of a steak. Okay, so the cheapest steak you can get is £3.60, which is for a very tiny steak, which means it's £20.57 per kilo. Again, that's for beef steaks. Obviously, tenderloin pork is £6.85 a kilo. I'll look up chicken as well. So, if I sort chicken by price lowest to highest, and then I look at actual chicken, not, like chicken crisps and whatever comes up in the search. One moment, because I'm having to go past page 1. Past page 2. Because, yeah, it turns out chicken is, going to be well over £1 for a little bit of chicken. Okay, the cheapest chicken product I can find, that is actual chicken, is Tesco wafer thin roast chicken slices, 125 grams for £1.25. So that's just like sliced little bits of chicken, not, you know, like proper chicken you could eat. Well, you can eat it, but, you know, like cut like ham kind of chicken. I'm just trying to find like an actual bit of chicken that you could cook, you know, like a chicken wing or a chicken breast, something like that. But again, I'm having to go quite a few pages in to find that sort of stuff. At £1.75, still no chicken. Page 9. I'm 9 pages in now. I've found chicken nuggets now. I found low-end chicken nuggets. They are £2.50 for 500 grams. So that's £5 a kilo for chicken nuggets. Alright, chicken drumsticks. 1 kilo is £2.15, but obviously that some of the weight of that is bone as well on a drumstick. Chicken wings, 1 kilo is £2.19. Right, chicken breasts, here we go. Chicken breast fillet, or fillets. 320 grams is £2.23 or £6.97 a kilo. And like I said, this is the cheapest lower end chicken stuff, not free range or anything like that, just basic battery farm chicken. So, yeah, chicken is pretty expensive. Yeah, again, butchers are generally better quality meat as well. Yeah, I mean, you could also get pigs and then you can feed people to the pigs. That's another method of food stuff. But yeah, so you can be a Costco. We have Costco in the UK. You don't need to be a government worker. You can just buy a Costco membership, because I know somebody that's got one. Yeah, most people I've heard from say shouters are pretty rough. Again, sorry, I know you're having a conversation between yourselves there, but yeah, most people I've ever spoken to have said they'd rather be, you know, somewhere they can kind of, you know, get a tent over them or whatever somewhere in the street than be in a shelter because of all the shit that goes on in shelters. But anyway, and like you're saying, sees that cheap supermarket stuff is generally like slimy, watery tasting meat. Yeah, I definitely get you with that, because like again, a lot of the supermarket low end stuff is like really not much meat, is it? Even if it's however much weight, a lot of it is like water injected stuff, isn't it? Where they make the thing look bigger because it's like 70% water. Now let me look it up. How to get a Costco card, UK. Oh, okay, so yeah, you're right, actually. It's not just government. You can be in certain banking sectors, certain health sectors, education or emergency services. So yeah, for some reason, yeah, Costco, because I thought it was more like cash and carry. Oh yeah, anyone can join for £42 annually to shop online, but this does not grant access to physical warehouses. So yeah, it's a weird thing. Again, I don't really get their model. So yeah, sorry, you are kind of right. It's a bit broader than you said, but so is it a bit... Again, that's a fucking weird system. Oh, you have to work for the government in, like, the public sector, even though banking isn't the public sector, to work at Costco. Again, I do not get that. I was just having to read about this. Oh, and people said you can just register a limited company and then do it through the limited company. So you can scam it like how the government scams us, basically. Register for a limited company for Costco, and then, you know, you don't have to actually have your company do anything. Just claim you have a company. I don't know. Again, I don't want to spend the stream derailing it into talking about Costco. But yeah, it just seems fucking weird to me. Oh, sorry, you can't use this kind of supermarket because you have to be a government stooge to get an employment card for the thing. Because I thought Costco, at least in the US, was literally a thing where you just had to pay like an annual fee, but then the prices are better per item. Because yeah, we used to have cash and carry in the UK, and that was specifically for retailers, but that made sense because it was where like retailers could buy stuff in bulk to then, you know, sell at a profit individually. Military surplus is expensive. Yeah, I know. I need to start selling off some of my milsurp to clear up some space and get a bit of money back. But again, it's even harder to sell the milsurp these days, as we've had the conversations before, because again, a lot of people don't have the money to buy milsurp because of how poor everyone's getting in the UK. What's Sam's Club? Is that another Costco type thing? But yeah, like I said, I've never used them, but I know they are in the UK. But like I said, it seems weird to me that like you have to pay a membership fee, but you have to be in a certain job to get membership. I don't get it. Yeah, like I said, Aldi and Lidl are quite good though if you want a cheaper alternative to all of the mainstream ones. It's middle class Walmart. Well, we don't even get Walmart in the UK. We get in the UK, we have Asda, which I think is owned by Walmart, but it's... Okay, yeah, like I said, I don't know, Yeah, Lidl and Aldi are good in the UK. The funny thing is, I was being told in some countries, Lidl and Aldi make themselves like the premium supermarkets. But in the UK, Lidl and Aldi are like the budget ones. And Sainsbury's are more expensive than Tesco's. So, like, to check this up, let's, on Tesco, I'm just going to look up canned food or like tinned food. Right, so I've gone on to tinned food on Tesco. Now let's go to Sainsbury's and do tinned food. And we'll sort price low to high on all of them. And let's find some stuff like chopped tomatoes. £1.76 a kilo in Sainsbury's. Where are the chopped tomatoes from Tesco's? I might not use chopped tomatoes as an example because I need to find stuff that is on both places. Right, let's look for actual tinned food, like proper food. That's cat food that's cheaper. I suppose you could start eating cat and dog food in the UK if you're really hungry. But yeah, I'm looking for Sainsbury's a lot of actual first proper foods, as in, you know, like canned meat kind of spam kind of things. Right, just as an example, because I eat this, let's look up beef and onion, like minced beef and onion on both sides. Right, so minced beef and onion, right, so... And I want the canned stuff. Not actual, just, like steak type things. Again, they keep changing the fucking thing I'm looking up. No, I'm looking for a price low to high of, Yeah, bear with me a minute, because this is... The annoying thing is their sites are just so crap, like, in terms of layout now. You can't, Still on, like, the 4th page in, haven't found them yet. Ugh, this is annoying. Beef stock, but it's in a can like it's, a beer. What? Okay, that's weird. Potts beef stock 500 milliliter. It's literally in a pint can, like it's for like for drinking it like a beer. That's weird. Okay. But yeah, where is the Where is the actual proper stuff I'm on about? Let me just search tin after it, or can. Okay, here we go. So, minced beef and onion in Sainsbury's for 392 grams is £2.40. And in Tesco's, it is £2. But that has gone up, because it used to be, I think, about £1.70 in Tesco's. So, yeah. So it's £5.10 a kilo in Tesco's, and it is £6.12 a kilo in Sainsbury's, and that's more expensive than it used to be. Morrison's do one that's still quite cheap, if it still is. Let's have a look. Again, some people might be very bored now on this stream, but I'll go back to the chat in a minute. I'm just... Right, Prince's minced beef and onion, which is a very good one, is £2.50. £1.85 for the minced beef and onion at Morrison's own brand one, which I don't mind at all. Again, it's fattier, but it's not bad. It's not like gristly meat or anything. So yeah, anyway, let me go back to the chat, and I'll get the windows up. Again, nobody's come on the Kick one, so I might not bother with Kick if absolutely nobody bothers coming on. Yeah, right, tin sardines. Let's look up tin sardines, shall we? Right, okay, tin sardines. We'll look on Morrison's, Tesco's and Sainsbury's. And we'll sort them from lowest to highest. Right, price low to high. Price low to high. Can I sort low to high on... I don't think, annoyingly, on Morrison's site I can sort low to high. But anyway, Tesco's own brand cheapo sardines, like all the bones in them, are 45p or 50p. But, you know, basically tomato sauce or in brine or in sunflower oil. And then it's more expensive as you go into proper brands of it. In Sainsbury's, again, Sainsbury's search function is so shit because I'm looking up tin sardines and it's suggesting me potatoes in water, mushy peas, marrow fat, chopped tomatoes. So Sainsbury's search function is fucking shit, is what we've learnt. Let me just search sardines without anything else. Alright, sardines, Sainsbury's. The cheapest sardines they do in Sainsbury's are 75p, but the main type of sardines they do are £2.35. So again, much more expensive. And Morrison's, 55p for their own brand one, £1.85 for the John West ones. Oh, actually again, the boneless ones are £1.85, £1.20 for the sardines with bones in. So again, Morrison's and Tesco about 50 to 60p for the very cheap sardines. Sainsbury's barely do any. But yeah, go back to the chat. Yeah, I'm having food after this, but I'm just going to put some cheap food and put some tikka masala powder in it. Ever been to Europe? Yeah, I mean, Europe isn't a country, but I've been to France, I've been to Spain, I've been to Portugal, I've been to Germany, I've been to Austria, I've been to Norway, I've been to Finland, I've been to the Czech Republic or Czechia, I've been to Slovakia, I've been to Hungary, and... Did I say Norway and Finland? I said Norway and Finland, didn't I? And is that it, or have I been anywhere else? No, I've not been to Italy. No, mamma mia, I've never been to Italy. Oh, Starman's about to give a speech. Shall I do a live reaction to it? If it is on the main telly, I will do a live reaction to Keir Starlin. Right. I'll do Sky News Live. Right, I've got the thing up live. At the moment, it just says Prime Minister Sir Keir Starmer faces Labour MPs, and they've got their fat bloke talking about it. But I don't think they're I think Starmer's doing it behind closed doors anyway. So it's not like we're going to even publicly know what he's saying until afterwards when he has like a PR person read it out for him. So yeah, no update on there. I'll see if the BBC has a live update. But no. So yeah, Rajiv, if Starmer's doing it, he's hiding, but he's not having the cameras on him. Oh, I'll get nervous if the camera's on me. That's right-wing thuggery, demanding I do it to the camera. Stalin looks Italian. Okay. Mamma mia, tu go laga with you. No, the Italian man is a bold, a Mussolini. But yeah. But yeah, I will go get some din-dins in a minute, I think. Because I don't think we're going to have Starmer resign while I'm on a live stream, unfortunately. Finland was very nice. But bear in mind of Finland, it's kind of one of those places where there's a few cities and towns and that's it. As in, like, Helsinki is very, very nice and that, and some of the other cities are very nice. But the problem is with Finland, and I don't mean this in a nasty way, is there's lots of it is just wilderness, which is really nice. But if you're there on vacation, it's like, oh, here's more pine forest with reindeer in. Here's more pine forest with reindeer in. Like I said, it's essentially a giant pine forest, Finland, with, you know, a few big towns and cities in it. So really, you just need to visit those towns and cities. But the one I really liked was Rovaniemi, or whatever it's called. Finland, Rovaniemi, or something like that. That was very nice. That's quite in the north of Finland, where you can see Aurora Borealis and all the stuff like that. And they've got the Arctic Museum, and it's where Santa's workshop is. And I ate some reindeer when I was in Rovaniemi, or whatever it's called, and they were tasty. Reindeer taste nice. But yeah, that was a nice place. I thought that was a very nice kind of, you know, rural lake sort of town. But yeah, Finland, you know, there's not much really to see there, and I don't mean that in a nasty way. There just isn't much to see. Steamed hams? No. Oh, no, steamed clams. No, steamed hams. Yes, exactly. Nazism isn't very diverse, no. Yeah, I've heard, again, Lithuania, Latvia, and Estonia I do want to go to, all three of those, and I haven't been there. But yeah, Aurora Borealis? May I see it? No. Yeah. Starmer can't grow a moustache at all. I've never seen Starmer with a moustache. Ministers turned away at packed Starmer meeting. When the Prime Minister entered, he received a standing ovation from those in the room. Also, did he get his cronies in there to clap like Stalin? Right, first person to stop clapping gets sent to prison for right-wing thuggery. It's so busy that 2 ministers have been turned away at the door. The sense I've got from speaking to MPs as they walked in is that NSO's intervention has rallied support for the PM. It's rallied support for all his yes men, but doesn't mean they're not going to stab him in the back. Yeah, let's get a picture of this little ugly man up. Look, there we go. Look at that face. Kind of reminds me of a scrotum. There's a desert in the UK. I know there's a desert in Ukraine. Is this just a place that's near the coast somewhere? It's just more like beach sand, isn't it, rather than a desert? Yeah, but like I said, it might accelerate the death of the Labour Party a bit faster if you know, we had Lammy as PM. Yeah, Mastermind David Lammy and Angela Rayner. But yeah, it's just depressing. I don't want to talk about that lot anymore. But you know, we're forced into the nightmare of it, aren't we? Right, how long have I been streaming for? Let me have a look. It will tell me actually on the Kick one as well as the YouTube one. Maybe. Let me go to the Kick dashboard. I have been streaming for... Does it say? I thought it said somewhere. Oh yeah, 1 hour and 10 minutes. I'll finish up now. So yeah, like I said, I'm hoping I have good news and Starmer's gone on one of these streams. But yeah, annoyingly, the Kick thing, nobody came on that. So like I said, if you are interested in my Kick, here's the URL. Hang on. Let me get that up again. Like I said, I'm planning on streaming both to Kick and YouTube, but the problem is it seems like with Kick, you probably already need a load of subs on there for anybody to notice you. Because the only person that came on was like one of those spam advertising bot things. So, like I said, my channel on Kick is this. So if anyone is interested, there you go. But like I said, if Kick requires me to shill my channel in various places to get subscribers, I probably won't bother with it. But yeah, so let's hope for Starmer getting kicked out. Well, I'm finishing the stream now, Mason. But yeah, but like I said, it sounds like Starmer's getting all of his yes men together to clap for him like Stalin, where it's like, aren't I the greatest leader ever? I think I am brilliant. Only right-wing thugs would oppose me. I am a brilliant leader. So, yeah. Anyway. I will see everyone. Hopefully I'll stream tomorrow. Like I said, I might not even bother doing the Kick thing tomorrow if it's, you know, like nobody watches it. So like I said, I thought it'd just be good to have it, but then I have to watch multiple chat windows to make sure nobody's chatting. And again, if nobody's really coming on it, it's a bit pointless. But anyway, yeah. So hopefully I'll have good news soon with Keir Starmer going from the UK, but who knows? He's probably going to stick around like a turd that doesn't flush properly in a toilet. I think that's a good comparison for him. You know, like when you get a floater in the toilet and no matter how hard you flush, the shit keeps floating back to the top. That's a good comparison, I think, with Keir Starmer. Or like, you know, when you get like the expression shit on a blanket, or like, you know, where you're trying to clear a stain off or something and it just won't come off. Like, you know, dirty clothes, no matter how hard you wash them, the stain won't come out. So yeah. But anyway, I'll be doing, like I said, I've got scheduled videos for like the next couple of weeks sorted, but I might again do some proper like 10-minute plus videos talking about certain subjects, and as well as the shorts. And then, you know, depending on what kind of content you like, you can watch those. But yeah, have a good day, everyone. I'm going to go get some lunch / dinner now, then I'll be free for whatever else to do. But yeah, so like I said, it's interesting with Keir, isn't it? But I don't think he's going to be around for much longer, hopefully. But like we said, he's probably just going to be replaced by somebody just as bad. So we'll see. So yeah, anyway, see you everyone. Have a good day, and I will catch you all. Just need to figure out with this thing. I guess I have to click go offline. So yeah, right. I'm off now, but yeah, see you all.